The following conversation between my mom and myself took place on Dia de los Muertos. We were with a community of people gathered on a day where the space is safe enough to talk about our loved ones who have passed. Where grief is not a heavy topic to talk about, but it's a safe space to honor our loved ones, speak about them, and cherish their memories. It started to rain. We were outdoors and we found a little bench, and in front of us was the Virgin Mary. And I pulled out my phone and asked my mom what she wanted to talk about. And she says, after the storm. So I found this quote by Frida Kahlo. It says, they whispered to her, you can't withstand the storm. She whispered back, I am the storm. So I found that to be very powerful, and I hope you enjoy the conversation with me and my mama as powerful. Hi, I'm Cindy and
Rosita.
And as we were trying to find a topic for our conversation with the universe, we are out here in Los Alamitos celebrating Dia de los Muertos amongst strangers. We just made a pit stop and are enjoying just watching some of the cultural, what did you say, not practices, there's another word for it, but I can't. Cultural rites, passages, I don't know. I don't come as but it'll come to mind in a little bit. Festivities, the cultural festivities. There we go. Yes. But Mom, right now you said after the
storm.
So you wanted to spark conversation on a topic after the storm. And as a matter of fact, we're just standing out.
Raining.
It's raining. Sprinkling, and we still feel cozy. But
yes.
Tell me more about after the storm.
The thing about the storm is not actually a storm, but it can be weekly and a weekend, any day. It doesn't have to be a season of the storm. It's just the circumstances that we go through our life, through the day, through on certain months.
So you're not necessarily talking about weather. You're
talking about the weather. I'm talking about there's emotional storms that you have that you go through, and
would you say also physical storms?
Physical, no, just emotional.
More emotional.
More emotional storms. Yes. It can be any day, any time. So, but after the storm, you notice that the calmness and how you went through certain circumstances, and then as you go through, sometimes it happens to be days. Sometimes it happens to be one day or a couple of hours for you to feel that peace and comforted, by.
And I would say that's what they say is irony, maybe. Like, how could there be peace after a storm? And I think it's very hard to put into words because you need to experience it to understand it. For example, after turmoil, after the storm, I'm going to call it storm because the storm maybe can consist of challenges in life, whether it's, and for us, it's been a grief, loss, but it could be a divorce, it could be abuse, physical, emotional, sexual abuse. So there's a lot of storms that we all endure. But as we give it this name, a storm, and that there's calm after the storm, could you give me examples of that? And is it something that we should feel guilty about? Should we feel guilty for having some peace after a storm?
To having peace after the storm? No, no, because that peace is through Jesus, and the real peace, the genuine, it comes from God that give you that peace. So there's no way that you can feel guilty about it, because he said, he's our comforter. So somehow, we go through, through those circumstances. Even, they are the hardest one, where you think that you cannot get through that, but then you realize that you come and you feel that peace.
Yes.
Even when you have pain, you still have that peace.
I don't think we want this one.
I understand.
No, we can use the tall one
Do you think?
because it'll help to give leverage to go up, and
Like-
then use that on the other side.
Do you think that the
Okay.
peace comes from? Do you think that God, Jesus, can offer peace through different experiences?
Definitely, I do, because I've been going through different experiences.
What would those experiences be like? Like,
One, like losing the house, not exactly, like losing your house. And you don't have no home at your own. But then suddenly you find yourself in the place that you feel that God put you there for some, reason, for purpose.
yes.
And then you see the blessings, even though sometimes, like people will remind you, oh, you used to have a house, a big house, and this and everything was elegant and this and that. I don't recall myself, like whenever anybody says that, I don't see myself that I have big things.
So are you saying that you can search for peace, but peace doesn't necessarily come through material things?
Exactly.
But my question was, if God is providing us peace, is it possible to gain that peace through experiences He provides us with, through people we connect with? Because I could imagine that we see peace as an emotion that overtakes our body, and of course we feel it through our body, that peace. But God giving us a peace, do you think He uses maybe people, experiences, maybe reading a Bible verse? Do you think He offers us peace through different experiences? And those experiences could be interactions with people. Have you ever felt like you met somebody just out of the blue and you've had this conversation and somehow it's peaceful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're getting wet, huh? Maybe we should go get covered up again.
We can
Mama. I don't
sit down over here.
But I don't think it's going to cover us. Let me pause it. So, Mom, I'm just wondering, when we started off, you said that there's a calm after the storm, or you said, you just said after the storm.
Yes.
And we said that storms come and many waves, and it could be from loss of loved ones, it could be divorce, it could be abuse, just challenges that we probably face on a daily basis. But then you went on to say that maybe the peace doesn't come from material things. Maybe it doesn't come from, if I have a home, I might be at peace. If I have the car I want, I might be at peace. Saying that peace comes from Jesus. Is that correct?
Is that correct? Because it cannot be you.
Our own making.
Yeah, like for example, it's not exactly like, for example, you end up without a house, without your husband, without your son, and you end up, without an apartment. But then suddenly you get an apartment, you get a place to stay. You get a place to stay. And you notice that you can do something for something, like something that is for someone, and you feel fulfilled about, happy about it. That's one of those things that doesn't come from material things. Okay. Another things comes from material things. Sometimes they say someone bring you a card, flowers,
Would you say that can give you peace?
It just, if something comes out without like something like someone can, I brought you some, I was thinking about you and I brought you some flowers. I went to the store and I saw this card and I thought about you. It's not you don't see it as a material thing, but it is. But it's for you, and it's not material. It's something that the person thought about, and that comes from God, because that person says, this one would be, good for so and so at this moment.
Yeah, it warms your heart. It fills your bucket. And if you had endured a challenge with them, not knowing what challenges you've endured, the act of giving you something gives you a sense of love, a sense of peace. When you said after the storm, what I can think of is, what is it that we have offered to us to be able to survive something very difficult? So after the storm, what I think of, the words that come to my mind are hope, survival, and even in the midst of all the challenges, peace. Because how can one continue to live after the storm in peace? And I think in addition to knowing God and God offering your peace, I think also taking care of your soul, your mind, and your heart, finding ways to pay it forward to others, helping others, maybe can give you peace. Maybe meditation, maybe getting grounded in nature, and like I mentioned to you this afternoon, just the connection and the art of just doing art. Right? It's just, so I'm thinking, like, after the storm, God provides us the peace, but the experiences He gives us, such as maybe encountering someone who gives us a hug, encountering an art activity that just took us out of our mind where we were just hurting. I feel like those things are put in our path to provide us a path of peace after the storm.
Yes. Like, for example, even, like if you think about today, we are here, that's festivity that they have about the day of the dead, and it brings you back, like the loved ones that you lost, and it hasn't been long, so it's a kind of a thing. But then when you see around, also you see people that are around, they have lost their loved ones.
It's a community.
The community.
Yeah, it's coming together, and I think it's very interesting to have a Day of the Dead and festivities. I think it's interesting because it's a one time of the year where people are comfortable talking about who they lost. Outside of this, sometimes people are not comfortable hearing it out, maybe not comfortable talking about them. Maybe they fear that the hurt is just going to be too strong. But on a day like this, I feel like people come together to celebrate and honor their loved ones.
Yes, like the lady told me that she put that little that she had this business in honor of her daughter.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
That to live out their legacy, continue to honor who they are by just creating something for them or living for them. I think that's beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, yes. And what a blessing for her to have shared how she lost her daughter, knowing that you were just a stranger. But it's the community, it's this day that allows us, I think, to do this.
Yes.
And I feel that maybe as the world evolves, and hopefully we can get comfortable with just talking about our loved ones outside of this day without feeling uncomfortable.
Actually, when I talk about my loved ones, your loved ones, I feel more comfortable talking about them than not talking at all.
And you know what you told me that I thought was powerful? I wish people just would ask me about my son.
Yes.
And why is that? What opportunity do you get?
It gives me an opportunity to bring his qualities. Like anybody else, we have qualities and we have flaws. But you only see and you loved ones the qualities, and that's why we should count on everyone and your loved one and your loved ones that you have still here on earth, to see the qualities, not their flaws. Okay, because just that, just cherish that, the qualities that.
I think focusing on flaws causes us to disconnect. I think it keeps us away.
Keep us away.
But I want to share, before I forget, in regards to you saying, I want to be able to talk about my son. I want people to ask me. I want to share a memory that you had of my brother that I was not aware of, that I thought should be out in the world. You let me know that he was having lunch at Soup Plantation and a man was choking, and that people around him were not helping him, and my brother took the opportunity to give him the Heimlich and saved his life.
Yes, and I think it's not a soup, it's a buffet.
It was a buffet.
It's something buffet, yeah.
So it's a restaurant. He noticed somebody choking, and he took action
without thinking.
He just did it and saved a man's life. And then it wasn't the only man he saved. He saved my father's.
Yes, and no, that one.
My dad's, your husband's life.
Your dad was saved for 12 years.
12 more years he gave
12
him.
more years
Because he was driving the car, my dad, and he had a stroke, and my brother took over the wheel. One hand held the steering wheel, one hand was on gas and brake on the freeway.
Yes.
And look at what a hero my brother was. And he deserves.
And he was like,
be known.
Because I was waiting, and they said, they're taking too long. And then when he finally answered me, and then he told me, he says, my dad, he's in the hospital. I don't know how he is, but I can see he was worried, but he was not like hesitated, like,
there was that peace.
Very calm.
A peace that was guiding
very
him.
Calm.
And that only comes from up above.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it does.
Very calm.
So Mom, as we close out, last words. Any last words as we close out?
Oh, let me see. Let me see what I gonna close. The first one, okay?
So my mom's pulling out a verse from Psalms 148.148.3.
Praise Him,
Sun.
sun and moon. Praise Him, all you shining stars.
Amen. And where are they now? In every star, in every
star.
cloud, in every rainbow. So for all the families out there who are remembering their loved ones today, may you be covered with the blanket of peace. And for our loved ones, if you're looking down above, send us some signs.
Mhm.